All right, we're gonna go ahead and review for the upcoming Unit 3 test. So in saying that, I have prepared some review questions. So first of all, when you are taking the test, you're not required to show your work, so do it the best way possible. That's going to save you the most time. For example, for number 1, what is the solution set for a system of equations? The best idea would be to type both of these into Desmos and see where they touch each other. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't even have to solve for y. I'm going to go to desmos.com and I'm going to type them both in. So I have y plus 1 equals x squared minus 2x. And then the second equation, I have y minus 2 equals x minus 5. So where they intersect each other is what I'm looking to find. So I can zoom in if it helps. 1, negative 2, and 2, negative 1. So those are my two solutions. They don't always have 2, remember, but 1, negative 2, and 2, negative 1 is where they intersect. Number 2, it asks us what is the most likely the solution set for the system. So what is the solution set? Is just asking us where do they intersect each other. So they're intersecting each other right here at 2, 2, and they're also intersecting each other right here at 4, 4. So it's understanding what the question's asking. For number 3, what is most likely the number of solutions for this system of equations? The number of solutions is how many times do they intersect each other? Well, they intersect each other right here. Let's circle it. They intersect right here and right here. So that's 2 solutions. It's not asking what they are, it's asking how many. Number 4 says identify a set of ordered pairs that would be a solution to the following system of equations. So when it says a set, if there's more than one, you wouldn't have to write both. I'm going to write both so that you know what both are. But in order to figure out exactly what they are, once again, I can type it into Desmos and see where they intersect each other. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of what I already have. I'm going to change it to my new equations, which are 2y equals x squared plus 6x plus 9. And then I also have 2y equals negative x squared plus 2x plus 1. All right, so let me zoom out. Let me make sure I typed it incorrect. I should have typed in minus 9. That's why they're not intersecting. All right, now that fixes it. So now they're intersecting each other right here, crazy decimal, and right here. So I'm just gonna round, we'll say I'll round to the nearest tenth. We would always look, if it were multiple choice, what our answer choices are, or we would also consider doing it by substitution if we cannot figure it out exactly what it is, if it asks for an exact answer. So going back, I'm going to say it's 1.5, comma 0.9, and the other one rounded to the nearest tenth would be negative 3.4, comma negative 8.9. Moving on to some more review. For question 5, it asks us what is the apparent solution set to the system shown. Do they intersect each other? No, so there's no solution. An option for no solution would be empty brackets. Number 6, what is the apparent solution set to the system of equations shown on the graph? Well, solution is where they intersect each other, not where they touch x. So remember, when you have 2 things graphed, it's where they intersect each other. If you have 1 thing graphed, it's where it touches x. So 2 things graphed where they intersect each other, right here that ordered pair is negative 4, negative 2. And then also right here that ordered pair is negative 2, 2. 7, there should already be the following graph drawn. I'll go ahead and draw it for you. It didn't, let me fix that. It didn't come out as it should have. All right, so this graph should have been drawn. What is the number of solutions? Well, they intersect here, 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 and here. 4 solutions because they intersect 4 times. didn't say what are they, it said what is the number of solutions. So be careful of what the questions are asking. Next problem, for problem number 8, it says draw a graph if A, B, C, and D are real numbers and A is greater than 0. Well, that graph was already drawn for us. That was my mistake. It shouldn't already be there. But let's talk about what that means. So A is greater than 0 means that that leading coefficient is positive and the leading degree is odd. Positive and odd, remember I said, is like positive slope. So the left end goes down, the right end goes up, just like we did in the graph. Left end down, right end up. And then because the degree is 3, that actually ends up telling us how many times it touches x. So we just wanted some odd curves going through there. If you weren't entirely sure of how to pick which one was right, what you could do is you could pick a positive number to put in place of a, and you could, so 2x to the third, you could type it in. And then you don't necessarily need to type in the rest, but the key is that you have a positive leading coefficient with an odd degree of 3. So if you type that in Desmos, you'll get an idea of what the graph would look like as well. For number 8, it says draw the parent function for a quadratic. Quadratic is a polynomial. So quadratic, the idea is just that a quadratic is a parabola, a U-shape. For number 10, it asks us what are the zeros of the given graph. So where does it touch x? So it touches x here at -4, -1, and 1. So -4, -1, and 1. I'm going to put in brackets, say they're all solutions. Number 11 says, what are the zeros for the given function? One option would be to go ahead and type this in Desmos to see where it touches x. Or, I already have the factors, so I'm just going to set them equal to 0, and I'm going to solve for x in each of those. So if I set 7x minus 2 equal to 0, and I set x plus 1 equal to 0, here I would add 2 and then divide by 7. And I would end up with x equals 2 over 7. That's 1, 0. And here I would just subtract 1, and I would get x equals -1. Number 12, same concept. What are the zeros of the function? So it's not already factored, so I could go ahead and factor it and set each of those equal to 0 to solve for x, or I could graph it using Desmos. So if I want to factor it, I'd look for factors of the last number that add up to the middle term, and I would get 5 and 3. So my factors would be x plus 5 and x plus 3. I could set each of those equal to 0 to get my zeros being x equals -5 and x equals -3. If you wanted to type it in as it was, you don't need the f of x part. You could just type in x squared plus 8x plus 15. So I'll go ahead and do that just to show you. I'd have x squared plus 8x plus 15. And then I can see it touches x at -5 and -3, which were the two answers that I found. In looking at number 13, it says, what are the x-intercepts of the graph shown? So where does it touch x? It touches x here at -1, and it touches x here at 4. So -1, 0, and 4, 0, or I could list that in brackets as -1, 4, meaning those are both solutions. These right here are ordered pairs. This is saying they're both solutions.